All right, let's talk about rotations. So we know rotations are turns, and there is a definite center of rotation. It's a fixed point, and they will tell you what the center of rotation is. If they don't tell you, it would definitely just be the origin, okay? The figure will be rotated around a specific angle and go a specific direction. So if you look right here, we have counterclockwise and counterclockwise. 180 degrees doesn't matter because it's halfway around the coordinate plane. So it doesn't matter if you go counterclockwise or clockwise, okay? So 180 degrees is pretty simple. So these rules need to be memorized, okay? I just have them memorized so I don't even have to think, all right? So 90 degrees, what you do is a counterclockwise rotation. So back this way. You switch the X and the Y, and whatever sign your Y was, you change it, okay? For 180 degrees, and I always go counterclockwise because that's the way I memorize these, okay? You switch all the signs, all the X's and all the Y's. Okay, for 270 degrees, that would be 3 quadrants. You actually switch the X and the Y, but this time, instead of changing the Y's, you change all of the X signs. Okay, so start memorizing these. Make sure you can write them down. We'll put them on our little cheat sheet to practice. Okay, now sometimes they're going to try to get you. Okay, and they're going to say, well, what if we did 90 degrees clockwise and 270 degrees clockwise? Okay, so if I took this clockwise, 90 degrees clockwise would actually be 270 degrees counterclockwise, right? So if they say 90 degrees clockwise, you're actually going to do 270 counterclockwise because you already have that memorized. Okay, see what I mean here? All right, if they do 270 degrees clockwise, then you know, so 270 degrees clockwise, 1, 2, 3, is really only 90 counterclockwise. That's what CCW stands for, counterclockwise. So you're going to memorize this one as that. So that means you really only have these 3 to memorize, and they need to be memorized ASAP. Okay, so let's talk about the example number 1. So I always say write your memorized rule first. So if it's 90 degrees counterclockwise, I'm going to take all of my X's and Y's, and I'm going to flip them. And if you remember, 90 degrees counterclockwise flips all the Y signs. Okay, so technically I could do this without graphing it, and I definitely do not try to graph this. Okay, I just go ahead and change all my ordered pairs. So it'd be 7 and 2, and B is 6 and 5, and C is 1 and 4. Do you see how I just flipped them? But now I need to go through and make sure all of my Y's in that first position now change signs. Okay, so -7, 2, -1, 4, and -5, 6. Did I do that right? Whoops, I didn't flip this one. So this one's supposed to be 5. Eek. So it'd be -5, 6. Forgot to flip that one, sorry. Okay, so then you could just go ahead and graph these. So -7, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, A primed, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, C prime, and B prime is definitely -5, 6. Okay, so that was B prime. Okay, and you can tell it's a turn because it's oriented differently. All right, so let's go straight from the coordinates to coordinates and not even do the graph. Okay, so write your memorized rule first. So what is the memorized rule for 180 degrees? That means we just take all of our coordinates and we switch all the signs. Easy as pie right there. Okay, so I'm going to, P would be -2, -6. Q would be -6, -5. R would be -5, -1. And S would be -1, -2. And then we could just graph it. And it would be a 180-degree rotation. All right, turn the page. Okay, so on here, I don't think that we need to go through and do all of these. I do want you to write down the rule for 270 degrees counterclockwise for me right now. Can you memorize it already? So 270 counterclockwise is take all of your X's and Y's, flip them, and the X's then become negative. So again, you can go straight to your coordinates right here. I don't think we need to graph all of these at all. All right, so let's go down here. These are the clockwise examples. Okay, so 90-degree clockwise. 90-degree clockwise. So 90-degree clockwise. Oops, wrong way. 90-degree clockwise would be 270 degrees counterclockwise. So let's write 270 counterclockwise. So what is the rule for 270 counterclockwise? We switch our y and our x, and which one changes signs? The x changes signs. Okay, so let's flip all of these and change their signs. 5, -1, 1, -8, and 8, -3. Okay, so if you graphed this already or not, go ahead and graph that and let's see how we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1 is L prime, N prime, M prime. And my triangle should look like it went 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so don't do this one, but please notice that it says clockwise. And the rules that we have memorized are counterclockwise. Okay, so don't let them get you on this. So clockwise, so 270 degrees, like let's just pretend we start here. 270 degrees clockwise would be 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so let's write our rule for 90 degrees counterclockwise. Do you have it memorized yet? Flip the y and the x, and this time the y changes signs. Okay, I don't think we need to do all that. It's purely memorization. Let's do odds on homework 3, and I really don't want any graphs unless you think you're wrong. Okay, so let's do homework 3 odds. Write down your rules and go straight from coordinates to coordinates and see how you do. All right, good luck.